All
What's going on,
right.
everybody? Happy Wednesday, March 27th, 2024. It's 10 minutes to 7 o'clock. We are live here at the Curtain Call Podcast. I'm your host, the Spanish Fly, and always with me, my tag team partner, Nacho. Tell him what's up.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I hope you're excited to get into some interesting topics today. We had quite the eventful Raw taping. We got a lot to talk about, and I can see we already have people excited. We got people commenting before the stream even starts. So I just can't even wait to get into these topics.
Absolutely, man. And what a Monday Night Raw we had. My goodness. Let me tell you something. One of my favorite time of the years is when you're on that road to WrestleMania, because when you're on that road to WrestleMania, woo-wee, man, all the storylines get better. Everything starts popping. We had 15 days. Then we had 14 days, 13 days away from having possibly, arguably, the greatest WrestleMania so far that has ever been done. And I know every year they say the greatest WrestleMania or the biggest WrestleMania. This by far is probably one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. Nacho, how you feel about that, man?
I can't wait. Honestly, every time I see that sign in the arena and I see the crowd all excited, and then somebody comes out and they point at that sign, oh my gosh, it gets the fuels pumping, the blood pumping. So I cannot wait. It's gonna be an eventful year, maybe some year of changes. So I just can't wait to actually see it go down.
Yep. But before we get started, we got to do what we always do. Nacho, today, this day in wrestling history. Are you ready, baby?
Hit me with it.
Okay, on this day in wrestling history, obviously March 27th, we're just going to go back, not too far, 2006. 2006 was the go-home show for WrestleMania. It was a Monday Night Raw where we saw the chairman, Mr. McMahon, against John Cena in a match, which John Cena won the match because the person he was fighting at WrestleMania came in and interfered in the match to help Mr. McMahon. Who was the person that interfered in that match that John Cena fought with at WrestleMania?
Someone would help Mr. McMahon. Is it someone that's still wrestling on the current roster?
He's no longer wrestling on the current roster, but he is part of WWE.
Okay.
Very well known.
Very well known, and would help Mr. McMahon. Ooh. I'm looking at my shelf.
I love it.
So
do you want me to drop another hint for you?
Drop me another hint. I think I'm getting
okay.
Close.
Another hint. He's the reason why we all love WWE today.
Gears are grinding right now. Gears are grinding. Can you hit me with one more hint? If I can't get it on this last hint, you'll have to reveal it.
One more hint. He's held the WWE title, the World Heavyweight Championship, the tag titles. He's already a Hall of Famer. He should be a Hall of Famer by himself. He's the reason why we wrestling fans are in love with the WWE product today because of him, especially within the last maybe 6 months, 7 months.
Did I get him on the third clue? Was it Triple H?
Triple H, John Cena won the match because Triple H came out and interfered in the match, which it was the go-home show for the WrestleMania match, which John Cena defeated Triple H. There he is, the game, the cerebral assassin, defeated him at that year's WrestleMania. That was in 2006, March 27th. This day in wrestling history. Nacho, man, you've been getting good at this. I'm loving it.
I got my track. I got my momentum building to WrestleMania now.
There you go. Well, now that we got that out the way, we got all the hellos, and thank you for joining us on this beautiful Wednesday evening. Guess what? It's time to dive right in to today's show. We're going to be going over a couple things that happened on Monday Night Raw, which we're super excited to talk about. First things first, Nacho, hit me with the first one. What we got?
You thought that Raw was amazing on Monday? Well, we came out and we put something together that was even better. We put out a video today. Actually, it just dropped, so be sure to check it out after you watch this amazing stream. We put out a video where we went over what's going to go down at WrestleMania with these tag belts.
Yes, sir.
So we put together a video talking about kind of the road to this match, kind of the brackets that have been going on, which teams have been filling the spots, and what we think is going to go down, maybe something with the title splitting. So we had a lot of fun putting this together. Be sure to keep an eye out because we're going to be making a lot more of these videos soon, and we're going to just stay to one stream a week. But we want to get a lot more of these videos out for you guys. So if you have any ideas or topics you want us to cover in a video where we can focus more on that and not in a stream where we have other topics that we have to get to as well, let us know in the comments. Let us know on our socials. Let us know that that's what you want us to talk about, and we can for sure find a way to get a video out for you guys.
Absolutely. And Nacho did an amazing job doing the editing and adding the things in. As you all know, not only is he the co-host of the show, but he's also the producer, putting up all the graphics and things like that. So here we don't give a attaboy or a pat on the back or a good job or anything like that. Here at the Curtain Call Podcast, when somebody does good, when you do good, when Nacho does good, when I do good, we just say too sweet me, baby. And he did a great job. So I too sweet my dude, my tag team partner Nacho. Man, Nacho, the first topic that we're going over Monday Night Raw, it's a very interesting storyline what they got going there. Tell us what it is.
All right. So Monday night we found out. Actually, I think it was either Saturday or Sunday. We found out we got 3 matches that were getting Mr. Adam Pearce dropped for us. And one of them was Sami Zayn versus Big Bronson Reed. And
big
honestly,
boy.
He's a big, meaty boy. Sami is that hometown hero I've said before. And these are 2 of my top guys. Bronson, if you're watching this, you know I love you. You know I support you. I saw you flip Ivar when you in Cleveland last time we were there. I'll always be a Bronson Reed supporter. Sami, he was one of my top guys going into WrestleMania last year. So seeing these 2 go head to head, I was torn. Just like in the gauntlet match, I didn't know who I wanted to win. So I don't know how you felt going into that, but going into this match, I was definitely torn, and I kind of assumed Sami Zayn would have the victory because he has a WrestleMania match on the card already. Kind of felt like that was a given that he should be the one who's getting the victory.
I can see that. And I was feeling the same way, but something happened that kind of made me say, is Sami going to lose this match? And it was an interview that happened in the backstage segment where Gunther said that he doesn't think that Sami can beat Bronson Reed. When he said that, it put doubt in Sami's head. And I think it got into Sami's head as they go out there to the match, where at one point I said, in the beginning of the match, I said, I think Sami might lose this match. Just because what a great storyline would it be that Sami couldn't beat Bronson Reed. It's getting in his head. Obviously, what I would love to see is somehow, which we need to be completely honest here, Nacho. Chad isn't getting in this match.
No.
He's not going to get in this match. And if there would have been another month.
Maybe not in the ring. But I think he's finding a way to involve himself another way. I think that he's going to be a coach.
The special guest referee?
Not the referee. I think he's going to be Sammy's coach. I think he's gonna help Sami prepare and get him maybe not to where he feels confident he could beat Gunther, but he's gonna be that guy in the back. As we've seen, he's gonna be that guy in the back that gives Sami advice and at least tries to help him go out there and not get mauled.
But Nacho, do you ever? There's a lot of people that think like you and I that we want Chad Gable to be the Intercontinental Champion.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it takes it away if he was to be that coach for Sami Zayn? Give him the willpower, give him that motivation that he needs to beat Gunther. Does it take anything away from what we want to see, which is obviously Chad Gable winning the IC title?
I don't think it will necessarily take anything away because I don't think Chad is coaching him to win. I think he's more so it's a respect.
Okay.
The way that Sami handled beating Chad, he didn't just rub it in his face. He talked him through it. He checked in on him backstage, even if Chad didn't have a good reaction. And he spoke his mind on how Chad has been handling this and how it's not just he's not the only one that it means that much to, because he's not the only one that has a kid that will be sad when he loses his match. So I think Chad is at least just trying to be there for Sami. I don't think that he's necessarily trying to help him win. He's just trying to help him not die, if that makes sense.
Okay. Other than that, the match was a great match. It was a really good match. And how many times do we need to get on here week after week when we talk about Big Bronson Reed and talk about how great he is in the ring? By far, I will say this every time we talk about Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed got the best off the top rope splash in the business. Hands down, there is no one remotely close to what he does. I think he is so underutilized. I think he's probably so underrated. And I firmly believe that he needs to get his shot soon.
Yep.
I'm not saying world heavyweight champion or WWE champion. There is no reason why Bronson Reed shouldn't be fighting for a United States title, for an IC title. He's really good. And if Sami Zayn somehow is able, if he's able to defeat Gunther at WrestleMania and take the title off Gunther to allow Gunther to move up and fight for the World Heavyweight title or the WWE title, because I think that that's where Gunther's trajectory is going, I want to see Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed, and I want to see Bronson Reed win that title. Or give me a triple threat at SummerSlam and have Gable win it at SummerSlam.
That's fair. That's fair. I feel like if I see Chad win, and it's against Gunther, I want to see it just Chad and Gunther. I feel like their story,
absolutely.
I want a one-on-one.
Absolutely, I think you're absolutely right. I don't want to see Gunther, Sami Zayn, and Chad Gable, and Chad Gable wins because it was a triple threat match. No, I want to see I want to see him win. I want to see Gable beat Gunther for the belt. Well, we're not going to get that. We're not going to get that. So it's going to be Sami Zayn, obviously, against Gunther at WrestleMania. If Sami wins and you get Gunther out the picture, let him go on to whatever he's going to be doing, then in that triple threat match, then put in Bronson Reed. But somehow Gable's got to get in this title picture. And I don't see the WWF doing a babyface versus a babyface scenario. And I don't see them turning, I don't see why they would want to turn Gable into a heel after he was a heel for a while, he got over by that shush stuff.
Yeah.
So either Sami doesn't win, allow Gable to say, now it's my turn, I want to try it again, and he fights him at SummerSlam and wins the title at SummerSlam, or Sami Zayn wins and Bronson Reed is chasing him, because Bronson Reed can obviously has the argument and say, hey, by the way, I beat you. You're the IC champ now, but I beat you. It's going to be interesting after this match at WrestleMania, coming out of WrestleMania. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
If Sami wins, does that break Chad's storyline up until now, though?
I do believe it does. I believe that it does. It's the same thing with Cody.
Yeah.
If somebody else came along and defeated Roman Reigns before Cody, that kind of ruins the story. And I don't know. That's why I don't want to talk about predictions until we do our prediction show next week.
Okay.
But I am going to say this. It's one of the reasons why I don't think Sami's going to beat Gunther at WrestleMania. Because I think it should be Gable.
Yep.
And if Gable's not in it, I don't know. Nacho. It's a good storyline going in. I just think it would have been a lot better if Gable was inserted instead of Sami. And I have nothing against Sami. I love Sami Zayn. But I just think the story was for Chad Gable and not Sami Zayn.
Definitely.
Yep. Definitely. What else we got, boss?
All right. Topic number 2 of the night. We had... this was honestly my favorite segment of the night. This was the best segment, in my opinion, of the night, because we had CM Punk return in Chicago. Came out with his arm brace. That, I don't know what kind of brace that is, but it looks like a bionic elbow a little bit there.
RoboCop.
Yeah. Came out. He addressed the crowd. The crowd was loving him. And who interrupts him? Or no, he didn't even get interrupted. He invited out someone who's been talking about him a lot, and that was Drew McIntyre. Following that, Seth shows up, and we have this whole trifecta of these bickering kids. It was beautiful. You could tell that they were just having fun the entire time. Drew was sitting crisscross applesauce on the announcer desk, and he yelled at the cameraman not to film up his kilt. It was just this. Honestly, this is what I've wanted if CM Punk didn't get injured, and I honestly feel like if he hadn't gotten injured, we wouldn't have gotten this incredible Drew that we have now.
Yes.
I'm almost thankful that he got injured, because Drew is amazing right now.
You know, Nacho, how many times did it? You could tell this whole segment was not scripted.
No, I think they went over too.
Yeah, they definitely went over. It was not scripted at all. When the things that CM Punk was saying, it just shows us why when he says he's the best in the world, it shows us why he is the best in the world. Not just in the ring, but on the mic. It'll be hard to find 2 other people that do it better than him on the mic.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion. I mean, but he's really, really good. And to know that he's going to be doing commentary for that match at Mania, it's going to be amazing. You got Pat McAfee, who's great. You got now you add CM Punk in there with Michael Cole. That commentary for that match is going to be amazing. But there was so many things that happened in that segment that was so not scripted.
No.
Seth Rollins saying, hey, I'm sorry, guys. He can't be the special guest referee because that's his counting hand. And for him to get on the ground and start counting wasn't scripted. When he comes up and says, my arm may be hurt, but my mouth still works, just ask AJ, not scripted. For him to say when Drew McIntyre was taking off his jacket and he was showing CM Punk's name on his shirt and saying what it says, and CM Punk said, hey, I never had to put another man's name on my merchandise to sell. Not scripted. It was so, dude, it was so good, man. It was so good. CM Punk was so good. But that whole segment was complete fire. I loved it.
When CM Punk was he said, who chose you? Who was it that chose you again? Who chose you to be the guy? Who chose you to be on the main roster? What was his name? And Drew is just sitting there smiling and shaking his head because he knows he can't say that name anymore. That was funny. That was hilarious.
It was really good. It definitely was. Was it scripted? I would say mine as well. Favorite moment of the night. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. What else we got, Bronson?
I just want to show off some of these pictures. When Drew was sitting there with
some
the feet
great
up on the
pictures,
desk. Man. And I don't know if you noticed that guy behind Drew in the white hoodie.
That's the CM Punk dude.
Yeah, he when CM Punk came back,
he was like Chicago. Yeah.
Yep. The segment ended with CM Punk basically walking out of the arena with his music playing, and Drew starts screaming, he can't be the one to get the last word. He's not even in the match. He can't have the last word. All of a sudden, he gets in the ring. CM Punk's still walking out of the shortened stage because they had a shortened ramp because they had to fit more people into the arena. And Seth Rollins just does a super kick right into his face and then stomps Drew, which I've been missing the Seth stomp. We haven't had a good Seth stomp in a minute. So that was really good to see. And then we had a stare down between Punk and Seth, which to me tells me.
Yeah, and you know what, Nacho? I'm glad that Seth didn't bump into him because that gets so overplayed now. You know, when guys walk past a guy that they're feuding with and they shoulder bump him and all that. I'm glad we didn't get that. It made it look more realistic. It made it look more authentic because when you're beefing with somebody, a lot of times you don't walk past them and shoulder bump them. You just walk past them, eyeing them like, yeah, you know what it is. You know what it is. And it made me feel like if CM Punk was wrestling next week. So I can't wait for CM Punk to get back. I can't wait for Seth Rollins to get healthy as well. I think Drew McIntyre, I'm not going to say my predictions. We're going to say that for the other show. I thought it was a great segment. Hands down, I thought it was a great segment.
Yep. Also, I want to plug Becky Lynch's book came out yesterday. So if you are interested, check out her book. I think it's still in stock at most places. So, I'll probably be picking it up, giving it a read. But heading into our final topic.
Ooh, hold on, let me get a sip of my Starbucks coffee. We should be sponsored by Starbucks, by the way, Nacho. I'm just saying, we should be sponsored by them. I got mine taped up for copyright purposes, but I'm just going to say the name. We should be sponsored by Starbucks. I wish I knew somebody who knew somebody.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nacho.
All right. Now that we just finished tasting our drinks, we're going to talk about Cody got a little taste of The Rock's cooking.
Ooh, I like that. If you smell.
So Cody actually opened up the show. He came out. He was the guy that pointed at the sign for the night. He pointed at the sign. He comes out addressing the stuff that went on with the bloodline. Yada, yada, yada. What do you guys want to talk about? All of a sudden, you hear the thunder, the lightning. The arena goes dark. And all of a sudden, they did this very well, in my opinion. It actually gave me chills. all at once, there's a crack of lightning on the screen, and The Rock appears. There was no like walk in. He was just there. He walks up to the arena, or he walks up to the ropes, climbs up into the ring, and we have Cody staring down The Rock. What do you think in this moment at the beginning of Raw? If this is the way they're kicking it off, what were you thinking?
I said, man, whoever's following this has a tough task. Because, man, they ain't playing when they starting it off like this. And I'm waiting for The Rock to grab Mike to start throwing some words at him, do his Rock thing. Finally, The Rock has come back to Chicago. And in my head, I'm glad he didn't do it because they were in Punk's hometown.
Mm-hmm.
The Chicago crowd is very, very voice opinionated on wrestling. I think probably one of the better crowds in all of wrestling. No matter what city you go to, Chicago's up there. And Chicago wasn't feeling The Rock. The place went nuts, like we talked about a couple weeks ago. That first initial reaction when you see the wrestler you've been watching on TV, the first thing you do is go, whoa!
Yep.
But then after that, you boo because you don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad he didn't do none of his Rock stuff.
Yeah.
But, man, when he whispered into Cody's ear whatever he was saying, looked at him, smiled, and walked out, I was like, ooh. This is going to be very interesting because Cody had a look on his face like, what? Like, what's going on? And The Rock just takes a smirk at him and walks to the back. I was like, wow. I knew that this was not the end of whatever it was that was going to happen on Monday Night Raw. This was not the end of it.
No. We even had Pat McAfee was losing his mind the whole time. He was probably the only person in the arena that was losing his mind the entire time The Rock had his entrance.
Oh, yeah.
But then we had backstage, somebody was trying to interview The Rock. They said, hey, as he's trying to exit the arena, they said, hey, what did you tell Cody? What did you whisper in his ear?
Mm-hmm.
What did he say?
What'd he say?
I actually can't remember. What did he say?
Oh, I thought you froze up on me. I was like,
no. I was waiting for you.
It's what I think about this whole thing. If I could take this back for a second, there was a time when the whole Rock came out, slapped Cody. After about a week or so, it kind of got staled. It's kind of went at a stalemate. Then Cody slaps The Rock, and it kind of picked it up again. And then it kind of like fell off. This past Monday was exactly what we needed in this storyline. When The Rock, I don't know if you have the pictures up there to go through it. As we go off the show, Jay beats Shinsuke Nakamura in a great match. All of a sudden, the camera's in the back, and they start showing Cody Rhodes beating up Jimmy. He's beating up Jimmy, takes care of Jimmy. Solo Sikoa shows up, and Cody Rhodes starts taking care of Solo. He's beating up Solo, then The Rock shows up. And The Rock starts beating up on Cody Rhodes. Now, The Rock comes along and calls him a bitch. Then he says shit. Then he's beating up, and then he said, oh, Chicago, you thought I wasn't going to say anything? You thought I wasn't going to say anything? And this shit, and I mean, he's going ham. And I said, we are witnessing something great.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes outside, continues to beat up Cody Rhodes. And then there's this one spot that he says, I am the final boss. I'm the final boss. But in the background, he's talking about how no one can stop him and this and that. But in the background, you have a pitch. You have one of the trucks, the production trucks,
Mm-hmm.
and it has a picture of John Cena and a picture of Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's not a coincidence that they did that spot right there. I think something could be seen. They could be hinting at something where the rattlesnake and the goat himself show up at Mania to make sure they make it even when it comes to the bloodline Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes on night 2. Then all of a sudden, The Rock comes out. He starts beating up on Cody, throwing Cody up against his own traveling bus.
On his dog
And then he takes off his weight belt and it says Mama Rhodes. And Cody's busted open, bleeding, takes Cody's blood, rubs it, wipes his head with his own hand and wipes it on the belt. And I said, we are seeing something changing here. And then he says, see, this is what happens when you get into my business. Don't F with me. Nacho, it was at that moment where I realized we have witnessed the end of the PG era.
Yep.
And I love it.
Yep. It's a new era.
It's a new era. There was blood. There was swearing like crazy. Strong swear words. It was definitely the beginning of the new era, the end of the PG era. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. What do you thought about this segment?
I thought this segment, as much as I say I loved the CM Punk, Drew, and the Seth segment, this was a close second. I was just having more fun with that segment. It was just funny to watch. This segment, honestly, felt more real. This segment felt, I think, the fact that they took it outside in the rain with the blood in the close-up camera. It wasn't just a guy standing on the side filming. He was up in there. The Rock was grabbing the camera, pulling it in, putting it up in his face. You felt like you were someone standing there watching something that was going down. And to see the way that the night started, where they were so calm and collected and professional. The Rock had his hands behind his back when he was talking to Cody, telling him there's nothing that's going to be going on. The fact that he snapped so bad from that, from whatever triggered him, whether it be just Cody getting involved when the Bloodline was trying to mess up Jay's match, or if something else happened that set him off.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's something that he whispered is don't get involved again. I don't know.
Yeah.
The fact that it triggered him that much and caused him to snap that much, that he got that brutal, was crazy to see. As someone who has barely even seen blood, aside from if you're watching AEW, to see that go down and to see how brutal they got with it, honestly excited me because it didn't take me out of anything. It brought me in to it more.
Yeah.
And I felt more invested as a viewer, which was fun. And if they're doing this for a Monday Night Raw, 2 weeks out from WrestleMania, or like a little over a week out. What are they going to do at WrestleMania?
You know, when you go back and watch the segment on YouTube and you watch it on the WWE's YouTube channel. You know, whenever people bleed, like just like the picture you have up right now, it's in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm expecting it to be in black and white. No, it wasn't in black and white. They showed you the blood. When The Rock tells the cameraman, come in closer, take a look at this, cameraman.
Yep, boy,
oh boy, man. And then the rain in the background, because it's raining. Oh man, it was an all around good way to close out the show. Now, that being said, I need Cody to come out on SmackDown and kick somebody's ass.
Yeah.
Cody cannot go into WrestleMania without putting his hands on The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to get that, oh no, it's just he's a baby face. No, Cody needs to go head hunting.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to go head hunting.
The line's been crossed.
And The Rock needs to be running away from Cody. Not allowing Cody to get to him at any time. Every time Cody gets near him, The Rock finds a way to get away. And we never get a chance to see Cody get his hands on The Rock. And when WrestleMania starts, as soon as The Rock and Roman get in the ring, Cody needs to be on his ass. Cody needs to be on him. Because if any wrestling fan is like me right now, we want to see The Rock get his ass whooped.
Mm-hmm.
We want to see The Rock get his beating. I want to see Cody take the weight belt off that says Mama Rose, take it off The Rock, beat him, bust him open with it, and give that weight belt to his mom with The Rock's blood on it. That's what I want to see. Even if at the end of the day, somehow, some way, The Rock and Roman win the match, that's fine. As soon as the next day comes along and the main event comes on and The Rock is at ringside, I want to see Cody whoop his ass again. Even if he has nothing to do with being in the match. But I think we got a glimpse of what might happen by seeing Stone Cold and John Cena in the background. It wasn't coincidence that they had them back there, man. But what a night of action on Monday Night Raw. It was a great night. It was a great way, in my opinion, to end the show. It was a great way to end the show. Black Knight, what's going on, baby?
It was a way to end the show that left you speechless.
Yeah, because it wasn't PG. We're not used to that.
Oh, yeah, and it made you want to see what happens next. Now you want to see Cody get that redemption. Now you want to see what happens on Friday when The Rock and Roman show up. But also, going back to what you were just saying, Cody needs to beat them so bad that when he shows up on Monday after he beats Roman and he's the Universal Champion, nobody should be for him to interrupt his speech. They need to be put on a lower level. They need to realize who's above them at that point. Cody can't just he can't just show up and be like, "Hey, I know you guys attacked me. We can put that behind us. I'm gonna win." No, he needs to. If he's gonna be the face of the company, if he's gonna be the leader, he has to assert his dominance.
Absolutely. He needs to. Especially after getting a beating like that. He has to.
Honestly, at WrestleMania, I want to see his mom be the one to beat The Rock. At that point, the amount he's been talking about her, I want to see her get to hit him a couple times. And then
absolutely. Man, it was a great way to end the show. because it makes me want to see Cody handle business.
Mm-hmm.
Cody has always been one that he takes a beating and he takes them well, man. He takes them really good. Now the question I have for you, Nacho, is something that I'm completely against.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna ask you anyways to have a small discussion about it.
Okay.
Nacho, WrestleMania Night 2. What if Cody doesn't get it done?
2 years in a row, we have a night 2 that's more of a letdown than a night 1. Or would it be 2 letdowns if he loses night 1 and loses night 2?
What
If he
happens if Cody
loses
doesn't get the job done?
if he loses night 1, I don't think we're gonna see Cody for a bit. I don't think we're gonna see Cody showing up on Monday after Mania. He's not gonna be able to show his face. And not just because of the fact that he lost, but because now the bloodline has that over him again. And they're even stronger. They have The Rock now. And if they do bring in John Cena and Stone Cold and whoever else they're bringing in like the Avengers style, all those people
Yeah.
are going to have that same loss on them.
You know, I don't know, Nacho. I don't know if Cody. I could understand some people say, yeah, but if you have Roman go over, that becomes Cody becomes a bigger baby face. I think that if Cody doesn't beat Roman, I think people are going to be turned off by the whole bloodline storyline because there's only so much you can pull off.
Yeah.
This has to end at WrestleMania. Nacho, it has to end at WrestleMania. I mean,
Well, let's say you go first. I'll say mine after.
you won. You came into Mania. You came into the Royal Rumble at number 30. You won. You lost to Roman. You came in at number 15. You won and you lose to Roman. What? You can't do anything else.
No.
You can't. You can't expect anyone to get behind you to finish the story when you had 2 opportunities and you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Especially if they cheat. If he loses cleanly, forget it. Forget it. But if he gets cheated out of winning, yeah, people would love Cody even more because man, he's been through everything and he got. But they need to strike while the iron's hot. And the bloodline thing is getting stale if they continue with the title. It needs to happen. Now, that being said, if Cody wins night number 2 and he is our new Universal Champion, what is next?
That's what I was
We
saying.
all got what we wanted. Cody's the champ. Now what?
So I've noticed in my short time watching wrestling, my little over a year watching wrestling, most of these feuds are determined on a best 2 out of 3 structure. We had it with Chad in his rivalry with Gunther. He lost twice, he won once. As far as I know, Cody and Roman, at least in this rivalry, have only gone up against each other at Mania last year. So if Cody wins next year at Mania, we could see a rematch if they're not going to do Cody or Roman versus Rock. And if you want to have Roman lose 2 years in a row, that puts him permanently down if he needs to make his leave. We are getting that Roman documentary episode this weekend, the season finale of the documentary show. And I feel like they're going to go into stuff with his health. And I'm wondering if they're going to reveal some stuff that they've been holding off for a while, and that could give us more of a clue as to what his future holds and maybe why he hasn't been on as much. But if Roman wins again, he needs to appear more because him showing up 4 times a year is what's keeping it stale because the people who are showing up aren't doing anything. They're showing up and they're getting beaten. Solo has lost. I don't even know how many times since he beat John Cena. Jimmy shows up and he's playing with the crowd, but that's really it. He hasn't won. They can't even
But you know what?
win in their own matches.
But Nacho, the reason I think that he's not going to show up is because that's the way they structured his contract. So he signed that for 3 years. So there's not gonna we're not gonna get a Roman every Friday. We're not. That's why the change needs to happen now. It needs to happen now. Because come January of next year, none of this rating stuff is gonna matter anymore.
No.
The Fox rating, the USA Network rating, none of those ratings are going to matter anymore because they're going to Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it has to. The storyline needs to end at WrestleMania. It needs to end at WrestleMania. And I just don't see. I think Roman's time is coming to an end.
Yeah.
I think his time is coming to an end. He has a bunch of kids, young kids. I'm sure he wants to spend more time at home with his family.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Cody's time.
Definitely.
And I really think, to me, spoiler alert, Cody and Seth lose night 1, but Cody finishes this story night 2. It has to be done.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be done.
And
we'll make it interesting. We'll make it interesting and say that he loses night 1. That way, night 2, when he defeats Roman, he went through everything. He went through everyone to finally complete his story.
Let's say Cody and Seth lose night 1. Cody finishes his story, but Seth loses. That could lead into another Seth-Cody rivalry down the road. That Cody brought Seth into that, even though Seth kind of threw himself into it. But that cost Seth his title. That cost Seth his title run to Drew. So, or maybe somebody else. If you watch our tag team video that we just uploaded, we have some theories on that as well. But yeah.
Hey, read that question right there.
Which one? The one that I have
right. Yeah.
Would it surprise you if he held it to SummerSlam to break Hogan's record? I feel there's so much significance, even though I know people say that SummerSlam is one of like the big 4 or the big however many. I feel like SummerSlam, although it would be cool because it's in Cleveland and we're probably going, we're definitely going. I feel like if you're gonna have someone like Roman who's had such a long reign lose the title, you have to do it at WrestleMania. And that's kind of the way I felt about Gunther, and that's why Chad not being the one that's in the match is so devastating, because I don't know if they're going to have Gunther then hold on to the title until next year. Because I just don't see... Maybe for a smaller, not a world title, you would do that at SummerSlam, but not for a world title, for a reign that has been this long, has been promoted.
It's got to be at Mania.
It has to be.
It's got to be at Mania.
Especially after last year.
It doesn't work anywhere else. It doesn't work anywhere else. And I understand what people are saying. Oh, they want to break, some people are all aboard in Hogan's record being broken. But I'm going to repeat it again. And hopefully people that watch this, I hope this part goes viral. You cannot compare Roman Reigns' title reign to Hogan's. Hogan fought. He defended that title the minimum 1 time every 30 days. That was the rule. Mm-hmm. Truthfully speaking, because at that time, those WWF superstars At that time, they were wrestling 5 days out of the week. So Hogan defended that title 5 days out of a week. You do that for a whole month. That's almost 20 times that he defended the title in a month. That's in 1 month. That's more than Roman has defended the title in the whole entire time that he's had the belt. So I don't want to compare. I can't compare the two. It's impossible for me to compare the two because there's no comparison. As far as length of time that he's had it, yes, you can compare that. But as far as title defenses, you can't compare that. So to me, there's an asterisk next to Roman Reigns' reign. And that's my opinion. And I'm not saying that because I'm a Hogan fan. Everyone knows I'm a Hogan fan. But it's the truth. Gunther defended his title every 30 days. That is a legitimate title reign. The Usos defended their titles. That's a legitimate title reign. Roman has not defended his title every 30 days. Hasn't. So I can't compare that. I can't compare that. The story has to end on the 7th of April at WrestleMania. Cody, the new Universal Champion, has to be done.
You know,
has
Cody
to be
will
done.
defend it.
Oh, yeah, because he's old school. He'll defend it. He will defend it. He'll defend it at a house show. He will defend it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for WrestleMania, Nacho. I'm excited
too.
for WrestleMania, baby.
I can't wait for this. There's just the way they have done such a good job of building this story where there could be so many different outcomes, and they all semi make sense. They all have a storyline that they could go down, and it just makes it more fun to run these different scenarios in your mind.
Yep.
Or just talking about them, because it's not laid out for you. There's a risk for each of these. There's a gamble for each of these. It's just more fun that way. And especially with the route they're going, a lot of the wrestlers, the big name wrestlers, their contracts are about to expire. And I'm wondering, now that you mentioned the Netflix deal, I'm wondering if it's because there's some new thing going on with that. And if they are changing things up, going less PG.
Yeah, I think that I'm pretty sure that Netflix doesn't care about the PG era stuff. And I'm sure Netflix is going to want more of an adult kind of content. And I'm excited for that. I really am. And anyone who, like, for example, this fan right here, Huggy Bear, says I haven't been able to watch shows, only watch them on their YouTube channel of WWE. I have missed a lot. I recommend anyone to just catch up with it, because right now is an amazing time to be a wrestling fan. Right now, the storylines are getting so good. They're getting so good. It is an amazing time to be a WWE wrestling fan. Wrestling in general. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan in general. But WWE is putting out some of the greatest storytelling than any other promotion, hands down. And I know that there's a lot of people saying this and that and this and that, man. You know what? WWE has great storytelling. He said, Huggy Bear says, yeah, but Hulu costs too much. You're absolutely right. Hulu does cost a lot. There's information out there where you can get a Fire Stick and watch it.
Or even, I mean, if you go on WWE's YouTube channel, most of the time during the day, they have live streams going of like the lead up to something or just different matches. So if you go on there, or
Peacock,
you can get like a free subscription.
Watch Raw the next night on Peacock. Yeah, so I mean, if you have the Peacock channel the next day, Raw is already up there. And what's Peacock, like $4.99?
Something like that. You can do like a week free trial, I think, if you just use your email. just where you could
Yeah.
easily get caught up before that. I see
So
you
Huggy
said
Bear.
you haven't
Yep,
caught up
Huggy
since The
Bear.
Rock first came in. I
Yeah,
think they have a
Huggy Bear.
video on that.
Go in there. Go in there and get her.
I'll look into if it's monthly. I think it's day after though.
Yeah, I'm almost certain it was the day after. But other than that, man, I mean, it was a great great Monday Night Raw. I'm excited to see what's going to happen on this Friday SmackDown. I'm wondering if Cody's gonna start, trying to get some receipts back and doing his thing.
Needs
But
to.
it's approaching us. It's approaching us very fast. What's exciting about all this is that we're just days away for the go home show on Raw, and that's always fun. It is always fun to watch the go home show for WrestleMania Monday Night Raw. So we'll see what we're gonna get. Nacho, what else do we have before we take out? Before we're out of here?
I'm gonna throw another reminder to some of the people who came in later. Let me just pull it back up real quick here. We did a video, something we're going to be doing more often now, where we are going to tackle a topic, something that maybe would get crammed for time in a normal video. We wanted to start doing or a normal live stream. We wanted to start doing topic videos where either we have an idea, or if you all have an idea, a topic you want us to tackle, we are going to go and make a full-on video talking about it, giving our predictions, giving our opinions, and some of the build up to these either matches or just storylines. So I don't know if you, Spanish Fly, have anything, an idea of one that you want to do next week before. I know we're going to do a full WrestleMania predictions video, so we can get all those out before. But for sure, we just posted that right before we went live, so be sure to check it out. And in the comments, leave us any of your opinions on the match or any of your ideas or storylines you want us to tackle for a future video.
Absolutely. And next week, obviously, it's the go home week for WrestleMania. We are going to have a special show. We're going to have a special show, our prediction show that's going to come out next week. We haven't decided on exactly what day it's going to be on, but we're going to do our prediction show. Now, breaking news. You guys are going to get it first. Saturday, April 6th, after WrestleMania night number 1, we're going live. We're going to instantly talk about everything that happened that night. The following day, night number 2, April 7th, immediately after it goes off the air, we're going live. We're going to talk about what just happened and everything. It's going to be a wild, wild weekend. So we ask you to make sure, if you haven't subscribed to us, go ahead and subscribe to us. Click on that notification bell so you can get all notifications when we're doing the lives, when we put up brand new videos. We are not only doing the lives, we're going to be doing the videos. We're going to be doing topics. Like he said, there's a lot of things that we want to be able to do, and we want you guys to be interactive with us as much as you can. We appreciate all the love and support. We appreciate you guys bearing with us as we do different things and kind of work through our some sort of, maybe we mess up here and there, but we appreciate all of you guys just staying positive and staying with us. Thank you for all the comments. More people being added. But like I said, if you have not subscribed, we invite you to please come join, be a part of our family. I'm the Spanish Fly. That's my tag team partner, Nacho. We're just two guys who love talking about professional wrestling. And we want to be able to see what you guys think. Leave us your comments. Tell us how you feel. What brought you into wrestling? What's your favorite thing about wrestling? If you've been watching wrestling for over 30 years like me, or if you've been watching wrestling for the past year and a half like Nacho, we accept everybody here, all age brackets. It doesn't matter. We are all wrestling fans. Nacho, any last things before we head out of here? Hit up the social medias.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna be working on getting an Instagram posted sometime this week if I can. So stay tuned for that. I'll add it into our bio. And be sure to check out that video. We appreciate if you can share it, like it, interact with us. We just want to hear from you guys. I just can't wait to see what's in store for us. And I hope you all are as excited as we are for what's to come and where this is going to take us.
Absolutely. We're super excited, and new things coming up. We will be dropping another video soon. Be doing probably another live this week or dropping another video this week. We're definitely going to be doing a couple things next week, like I said. So we appreciate you very much. Well, it's another one in the books, ladies and gentlemen. We are 13 days away from the greatest spectacular event of the year, a two-night WrestleMania, the 6th and the 7th. So get ready, put your seatbelts on, grab your popcorn, grab your favorite beverage, because it is going to be a wild, wild weekend next weekend. So for my boy, Nacho, I'm your boy, the Spanish Fly, man. You know how we do it. You know how we do it. Throw it up if you got me too sweetly, baby. And remember that here at the Curtain Call Podcast, we always kick out at 2. We'll talk to y'all next week or later on this week. Who knows, Nacho? We doing big things, baby. Let's go.